Before I talk about the actual show, I have one thing I want to mention real quick. When I finished the show, it recommended me another show. And it said, because you watched Kickin' It, and it recommended me fucking Mickey Mouse. What does Mickey Mouse have anything to do with Kickin' It? It's probably the dumbest recommendation I've ever gotten. Now, actual show, my favorite character has been reduced to a side character, Kim. She's the best character in all 3 seasons she was in. Favorite character. She's down to 4 episodes in this season, and most of them are just very quick, short scenes until like the last 2 episodes they start using her. They also have like an excuse to keep using her because like she went to an academy or something near the end of season 3, so she's not in it until like episode 12, and there's only 18 episodes. And then in that episode, she's like, I gotta go back to Japan. Then she comes back and says her flight's canceled. She's gonna be there one more day. Then she's in 2 whole episodes. So those 2 episodes apparently take place in one whole day. Kind of crazy. Or they just literally forgot about that. Kind of like how this is small spoiler to Jason, so you can skip ahead 10-20 seconds, where Jason's like cremated in Friday 5, and then he's buried in a coffin in Friday 6. Doesn't make sense. Now, back to this show. They completely forget about one of their characters from their one episode last season. That is little action-packed episode where Jack and Milton become spies for the government, and they finish it off in the very first episode, even though they set it up like Jack and Milton were going to be there a while. So kind of rushed. Shane ends up being a bad guy, and the girl that kinda had a crush on Milton disappears. And she was also one of the spies. It was only Shane, her, Jack, and Milton, and then they just don't have her and don't even mention why she's there, isn't there. They have a big flashback episode talking about, all the awesome moments that have happened throughout the series, some heartwarming moments. But they keep leaving out Eddie. Eddie was in 2 whole seasons. Come on, man, it's not going to hurt you to show him in a flashback. At least I don't think there's any legal trouble for showing a character in a flashback for something that's already been recorded. Like they had a thing about Joan where they could have shown that episode where Eddie thought he stole something, so he had to talk to Joan about it. Then in the episode, he actually didn't steal it because he found his receipt. And then there's an episode where him and Kim were selling lemonade, and they make sure to use the scene after he quits working with Kim, so he's not in the flashback. They just keep leaving him out. Then near the end of the episode, they show all these heartwarming moments on why he stayed working with the dojo. And it shows him talking to all the students. And Eddie's not there again. It's kind of sad how they keep leaving him out. They've been increasingly making Jack kind of a dumber character for some reason. Jerry doesn't do as much bad stuff anymore because I need to use something near the final episode where they're like, oh yeah, Jerry's made us all better. Jack used to just be a skate punk, and Jerry used to get in trouble all the time, shit like that. It's something, all right. Anyways, it's a pretty decent season, shorter than most. It actually does a parody that's kind of high budget of Star Wars, when they've done so many parodies of shows and movies and stuff all throughout the years. They actually did one about What Would You Do, that TV show during this season. And they call it What Did You Do or something. So, yeah. They also, did, like, Willy Wonka and a bunch of, like, older shows that most kids wouldn't have known the reference of. So, it was kind of weird seeing something that most kids actually would have known in this show. Like, Star Wars. And it's pretty high budget. The special effects are pretty decent. Which I almost forgot. I had to mention it now that I remembered. They have an episode with sharks. And Jesus, they look terrible. They look even worse than the tigers in Casey Undercover and Jesse. Like, come on. I know it's a TV show, but I'm going to talk about the bad special effects. I'm not going to actually, criticize it like I would a high budget horror movie, but I'm going to talk about it. Seeing a low budget shark is crazy. And they straight up, and it's, just like, what was it, iCarly and other shows have parodied Star Wars because of how popular it is. But they always call it, like, something different. They straight up call it Star Wars. They straight up talk about lightsabers, and they name drop Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. So they either paid something about Star Wars or definitely got, like, sponsored by Star Wars or something. Because, iCarly, I don't remember. They called it, like, Galaxy Wars. And in this, it's called Star Wars, and they even name drop characters. Overall, this was a decent season, but definitely underwhelming. Only one character from another show was in this. Marissa from Casey Undercover is in, like, 2 episodes as a girl that annoys Jack in one, and then in another, Jerry falls in love with her. And then they kind of end up dating near the end of the episode, and then she never shows up in the show again. And that's really about it.